Now that you've accessed CMap via the cloud and created an account, it's time to begin building your CMap. You know that log into your account, and you know you're logged in if your name is showing here. And then click here to start building your map. But first, let me hop over here to show you this hand-drawn map. If you have gone through the training materials on the course site, you'll know that it's recommended that you create a hand-drawn map prior to attempting to create a map in CMap. The reason for this is that you can get your ideas down on paper. You can think about the shape and the different hierarchies and the different concepts you want represented on your map without being bogged down by the mechanics of the software. So I created another practice map here based on a very simple question of what are apples and what are they used for? In the course site, you'll see that there's a practice focused question as well as an assignment focused question. The practice focused question is somewhat related to the course content, but it's designed to have you practice creating a map and also using CMap. So this is a totally random focus question about apples that I'm going to use to demonstrate how to create a map in CMap. So from my hand-drawn map, you can see the map components, which are hierarchies, propositions, examples, and crosslinks. So this map has 4 hierarchies, hierarchy 1 being apple, 2, apples are fruit, which is hierarchy 2, and fruit comes in types such as Granny Smith, which is hierarchy 3. If I want to follow this idea here, you can see apples are fruit. Fruit comes in types such as Red Delicious. Red Delicious are sometimes confused with Macintosh, which is level 4. For this side of the map, I think I have told you what apples are. And then on this side of the map, I'll answer the second part of the focus question is, what are they used for? So here again, hierarchy 1 is apples are used for pies, which is my H2. And 2 examples of pies are Dutch apple pie and caramel apple pie. Apples are used for candle scents. An example of that is green apple candle. These are my 3 examples. As you can see, they do not have to create a new hierarchy level, but they are denoted by the linking phrase example. Following this thought process here, apples are used for eating fresh, which is my H2. Eating fresh is eaten by the whole fruit, which is H3, or eaten by cutting apart, which is H3, or eaten by slicing, which is also H3. And then if I follow it through, slicing can use an apple slicer. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like to color code hierarchies. H1 being its own color, H2s being a different color, H3s being yet another color, and H4 being yet another color, and my examples being their own color. So now let me hop over to CMap tools to show you how to create this same map electronically. Once you've clicked on start building your map, you'll come to this screen. You want to click on new CMap, which is this. You begin by when you click on new CMap, you get this toolbar here. Double click here to begin a map, which gives you the initial shape. By double clicking again once on the question marks, you can put apples, which is the first concept. I'll do a shift return to get to the next line, and I'll make this my H1. Now to create another shape or concept linking to this one, I'll come to this figure here and draw it this way, which will then create space for my linking phrase as well as for my new concept. My new linking phrase here is R to create the proposition apples are fruit. And remember, fruit is my H2. Again, if I want to link from here, grab here and go out this way. New linking phrase. Fruit comes in types. And this particular kind of fruit comes as Granny Smith, which is my H3. Correct that spelling there. It also comes in Brayburn, B. Also H3. And then the third type is that it comes in Red Delicious, H3. So from my H2 here, I have another H2, which is apples come from trees. So I want to put come from trees. H2. So these two being H2 tells me that these two ideas are equal in terms of their relationship to the initial term, which is apple. Now I'm going to hop over here and start building the second part of my map, which describes what apples are used for. So the linking phrase here would be are used for, and the first use is for pies, which is H2. The second use is, oh, I made a mistake there, so let me right click on that and delete. I want to come back to apples for how they're used. No. Apples are also used for candles, scents. Bad spelling. Also H2. And the third way in which they're used are for eating fresh. Also H2. So these H2 are equivalent to these H2 in terms of the idea and their relationships to the original concept, which is apples. As you can see, I can play with the shape at any point while I'm building the map by just clicking on the shape and moving them around as needed. So back over here to my examples, I'm going to move this to the right a little bit. I want to give 2 examples of pies, so I can come here and I can do that. My linking phrases be an example, because I'm going to write an example. And Dutch apple pie is my first example. And the second one is caramel apple pie. Depending where you're from, that could be caramel or caramel. Examples, again, do not create a new H level. An example of a candle scent, again, my linking phrase is example, would be a candle that's scented like green apple. I can come back in here, right click and check fix my spelling. So to give you some ways that eat fresh can be further explained, I want to say eaten by as my linking phrase. So I can either slice, H3, I can cut apart, also H3, and I can what? I can eat the whole fruit, also H3. If I want to take this idea even further from slicing, I might want to use the linking phrase is here, so I put can use, and I want to put apple slicer here. And this is an H4, making it equal in idea to this H4 over here, which I'd never put in, so I'm going to put it now, which is sometimes confused with red delicious, as it's indicated on my hand-drawn map. So at this point, I recreated the map all but for the crosslink. Let me delete that, in which I would try to join these two concepts here. Remember, crosslinks are link larger conceptual ideas. They jump hierarchies, so they have to link concepts that are non-consecutive hierarchy. They represent larger ideas on the map than these direct relationships that are just one H level apart. So click here on whole fruit, and I want to go to apples. It gives me the linking phrase space, which is most easily eaten as. I'm going to do my hard return and put CL here so the reader knows that this is intended to be a crosslink. They know that it's a crosslink because I have CL, and they know that it's a valid crosslink because I have CL, because it's more than one H level apart. Can most easily eaten as. If you notice that I deleted that and started over because I had an extra shape here for some reason. So just start over. I went back to whole fruit and created this new link. This arrow also tells you that this cross link is read in this direction. So whole fruit is most easily eaten. Apple is most easily eaten as whole fruit. So the arrow should actually go in this direction. So I'm going to delete this again. So this tells the reader that the sentence goes in this direction. So that's my complete hand-drawn map, replicated, and I'm going to again play with the shape so that the map makes sense, and the shape is, the logic of it is obvious for the reader. Now it's time for me to use some size delineation so that you can see which ideas are more important than others. So this one, I'm going to double click on it and make the font size 18. H1s are usually larger shapes on the map. It draws the reader to where to start reading the map, as well as tell the reader the most important concept on the map. I'm going to make my H2s all about 16 so that they are equal in, relatively equal in terms of size, and tells the reader that they come next in terms of the hierarchy. So all my H2s are now size 16 font. I'll do size 14 for my H3s. This is an H2, so that needs to be 16. H3 needs to be 14. 14. 14. My examples and my H4s I'm going to leave at 12. So you can see that these are now, you have some sizing differences. Now if you want to move the map around, you can come over here and do select all, which does this, which allows you to move the map around on the screen, because sometimes you are working on a hierarchy that takes you kind of off screen and you want to make sure you're able to show all your ideas. So by hitting select all, you can move the entire map. And again, if you want to move a specific shape, you just do this, grab it and move it. I'm going to stop here, and then you'll pick up part 2 of the video where I'll show you how to color code the map.